Hey, how are you? So I'm talking about my book again. I took a chapter from my newest book called Harmonic Concepts, right? It's about chords. I got 140 pages that are edited. That's available on Patreon if you want that. You have to be at that $10 tier, however. But I'm still going to do some random lessons from the book because there's some good stuff that I can use just for lesson material. And the PDF for this lesson is available like it always is, okay? But the book is on Patreon, okay? I use it for my college, okay, that I teach at. And this Harmonic Concepts course is 2 years long, so it's a big old book. It'll probably be up to 230, 40 pages or something. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so I'm doing chapter 19. Chapter 19 is 6 chords, all right? Now, I talk about, obviously, the different voicings of 6 chords. Now, let me tell you something about 6 chords. They're underappreciated, but they're some of the most interesting chords that you have. And it took me a while to figure that out, but it's the truth, okay? So Jimi Hendrix knew something about 6 chords too, right? You know, like this thing. Beautiful, right? You hear that like an angel, right? So, you know, I give a bunch of different voicings, of course, but then I get into the uses, all right? So, one of the common uses for 6 chords is, you see it in a lot of different music. Look, if you take like an E chord, for example, or a triad. If you take a triad, this is the C form E chord, and you move up to 5th, a half step at a time, that's a E augmented now. Move it up one more time, you get a C6 chord, E6 chord. Move it up one more time, you get E7. This is like from that John Lennon song. What's the name of it? I can't remember, but you know what it is. Okay, so the example I have in the book. Right, so what you're doing is you're setting up the 4 chord. It's a nice way of setting up the 4 chord. Okay, and then in the book I have some different examples where, you know, it's some similar progressions. I just move it to some different places on the neck using different voicing. Okay, so the next one it's a similar progression, but starting on C. This is the G form C, right? We learned that in the last video I did. Okay, so these are some common uses, right? And this is sort of traditional harmony, but there's something crazy that you can do, and I'm going to talk about that too. Now, if you follow any of my lessons, you know that I'm crazy about Barry Harris, right? Barry Harris has this thing going on that's called 6 diminished scale, okay? Now, what that is there's a scale called the 6 diminished scale, okay? What that is, it's a scale that has the major, it's a major scale with the minor 6 and the major 6. Now, if you take the scale and you harmonize it, you take every other note, you make chords, you get a crazy, interesting thing happens. You basically get these chords, C6, and it continues up the same way, right? Another C6 chord in inversion, diminished, C6 in inversion. Here's the thing about 6 chords that you have to remember. They look like minor 7 chords too, depending on how you want to, where you see the root. So, but this is also C6 with the root all the way on this top here. Nice, right? Now, when I first learned this, I thought, okay, this is just sort of an interesting trick to get a lot of voicings in when you have like a major chord to play over, right? So in other words, like a 2-5. This is in the book too. Now, this is fine. Good jazz application, right? But there's something crazy that you can do that it took me a while to figure out. But Barry's concept really is that, see, just play this C6 chord. Play the next chord, this D diminished chord. Look at that note right there, that B note, right? So you can borrow from neighboring chords and you get really, really interesting results. So watch. That goes C6. That's that borrowed note, right? See it in there? Right there. See that? Now, you hear this a lot in music all the time, right? This is C6 and C major 7. What if we keep doing it? Next is this D diminished, and then C6. Look at that note there from that C6. I'm going to borrow. This is D minor 7 flat 5, right? So this is a borrowed chord from C minor. It just happens to be, right? So you get lots of these little strange secrets pop out when you do this. Sounds nice, right? It sounds even nicer than that other thing, right? So next, here's the next one. There's that diminished chord. Look at that note there. So we're gonna go. That's C6 9. Right? So let's do it to that point. Okay, so what if we borrow from that one? There's the diminished. Here's the 6 chord. Note we're gonna borrow, right? So wow. And then, so I started messing around with this, and there's so many beautiful voicings that it's even hard to name some of them. They're so kind of crazy. But look, we can do this way too, going down. Kind of surprising, right? Some of these crazy voicings, like, look, what's this, you know? But when I started messing, I realized that, you know, you can keep borrowing. So look, if you went like this, what happened? So what did I do there? I borrowed from the chord below, but not just the note on the third string, the note on the fifth string too. And I could maybe borrow even more, like I could keep descending, watch. It's another sixth chord. So, tell me what you think about that. We went from John Lennon to Alan Holdsworth in 10 minutes, okay? So, these are sort of the interesting things that you should experiment in regards to these six chords, all right? So, anyways, you know, you can get the book, of course, and it's going to take a little bit more time, but the whole book will be done next month. So if you want to get that, you go to Patreon. This lesson I'll make available, okay? So get that PDF on Patreon, all right? All right, so anyway, have a nice day. Goodbye.